everyone. Today we shall study about potential energy and kinetic energy. In our lower classes already we have learned the definitions for potential and kinetic energies. Potential energy, as we all know, it is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its position or configuration. So let us know the types of potential energy. Potential energy, as I told you, it is the energy acquired by a body by virtue of its position or configuration. Potential energy is of two types. One is gravitational potential energy and the other is elastic potential energy. Now first we shall discuss about gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy is the energy acquired by a body in the gravitational field of the earth. We all know that there is gravitational force applied by the earth and there is some gravitational field around the earth, and any body is present inside the gravitational field, then the energy acquired by the body in the gravitational field is called gravitational potential energy. If you take outside the gravitational field, then what happens? There is no force of attraction. We know that Earth exerts force on all bodies, and this can happen only in the gravitational field. If we go beyond the gravitational field, suppose the body is here, then there is no gravitational field here, and hence the gravitational potential energy at this point will be zero. So we take that gravitational potential energy at infinity. Infinity means at a point where gravitational field is not there, it will be zero. Why it will be zero? Because there is no gravitational field and hence the gravitational potential energy also becomes zero. On the other hand, if you take gravitational potential energy at a finite distance, then the value is always negative. So at a finite distance, gravitational potential energy exists and its value will be negative. Now why it is negative? Because here the gravitational force itself is doing the work. So when you are in the gravitational field, there is force of attraction from the earth, and that force of attraction is provided by the earth. Hence the gravitational force only is doing the work. Whenever the force itself is doing the work or the system is doing the work, we take energy with a negative. On the other hand, if work is done on the system by some other external agent, then this energy becomes positive. So you have to remember that gravitational potential energy at a finite distance is negative and it can be proved mathematically. But that mathematical derivation of the negative value of gravitational potential energy is not in the scope of the syllabus. So we need not bother about that. Just remember that the gravitational potential energy at infinity is zero and at a finite distance is negative. And actually speaking, how we can define gravitational potential energy means it is the amount of work done. Amount of work done by the force of attraction of earth to bring a body from infinity to a point in the gravitational field. So a body is at infinity, you want to bring it to a point in the gravitational field, then what you have to do? You have to do some work. That amount of work done is called gravitational potential energy. So remember that gravitational potential energy is the potential energy acquired by the body in the gravitational field of the earth. And what is its value? Its value at infinity is 0 and at a finite distance it is negative. And this gravitational potential energy is denoted by the letter U. Now, coming to elastic potential energy. Whenever we apply force on a body, then we often see that the body gets deformed, that is, its shape changes. When the shape of the body changes, for example, when you stretch a spring, then what happens? The spring will be in stretched condition. So, in that stretched condition also, the spring will have certain energy, and that energy acquired by this string in its deformed position is called elastic potential energy. So these are the two types of potential energies. Now we have to derive an expression for gravitational potential energy. That we shall continue now. Now we shall derive an expression for gravitational potential energy. For that, let us consider a body of mass m. So I have a body of mass m. This body is on the surface of the earth. Now this body has to be lifted through a height h. Now always you should remember that the force of gravity will be always acting towards the center of the earth. Force of gravity always acts towards the center of earth. Now, if I want to lift this body of mass m, then it is very simple that I have to do some work. And in which direction I have to do work? Force of gravity, as I have written here, it is always acting towards the center of the earth. But if I want to lift this mass, then I have to do the work. And this work done is against the gravity. This is F is equal to mg. That is force due to gravity. Now, if I want to lift this, I have to do work against gravity. Now, how much work has to be done to lift this mass? That work done is equal to force of gravity. Now, we know that work done formula is F multiplied by S, product of force and displacement. Now, here, how much force has to be applied on the body? It is equal to force due to gravity. So, I can write F is equal to mg. And this is nothing but the weight of the body also. The mass of the body is m. The weight of the body will be equal to W is equal to mg. And because I am doing work against the force of gravity, then how much work has to be done? How much force I have to apply? That force will be always equal to force due to gravity. So I have to apply mg force to lift this mass. And by what height I want to lift it? I want to lift it through a height h. Now, how much you will get? W is equal to mgh. Now, this is work done. But we know that work done is nothing but energy. Now, what work I am doing? I am doing work, means I want to lift this body from the surface of the earth to a height h. So, I am doing work, and this work is done against the force of gravity. So, I am applying energy. This work done is also called potential energy, which is called gravitational potential energy. So, we can write U is equal to mgh. This is the expression for gravitational potential energy. Now, precisely, if you take the potential energy, means at a height h, there will be gain in the potential energy. But we make an assumption that the potential energy at the surface of the earth as 0. This is the assumption we make. So, on the surface of the earth, we assume that the potential energy is always zero, and hence as you go higher and higher, means as you ascend, means as the height increases, there will be potential energy. Means at a height h, what will be the potential energy of the body? The potential energy will be equal to mgh. This is the expression for gravitational potential energy. Now, suppose you want to project a body. This is ground level. You are projecting a body. Now let me take that this height as h1, this height as h2. Now if you want to project the body, then which is having more height, h1 is more having more height than h2 is having more height than h1. Now in this case, we can calculate what is the potential energy at this height and what is the potential energy at this height. Now at this height, the potential energy will be equal to mg h1. The potential energy at h2 will be equal to mg h2. Now you can take the difference in the potential energies. The difference in potential energy will be given by the final potential energy minus initial potential energy. So that potential energy will be equal to mg h2 minus mg h1. So you can write it as mg h2 minus h1. So this is the case when you are projecting a body upwards. Suppose you want to drop a body from a certain height. Then let us take this is h1 and this is h2. In this case, what happens? What is the difference in potential energy? The difference in potential energy will be given by initial potential energy minus final potential energy. Now, what is the initial potential energy here? It is mg h1. What is the potential energy here? Mg h2. Now, when you drop a body, you are coming towards the gravity, is it not? So, the difference in potential energy will be equal to mg h1 minus h2. That can be written as mg h1 minus h2. So, these expressions you have to remember for potential energy. Next, we shall derive an expression for kinetic energy. Kinetic energy, as we all know, it is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its state of motion. Now, let us consider a body of mass m. A body of mass m. It is moving with a certain velocity, and that velocity I will take it as u, v. So here I am taking the initial velocity. Initial velocity, usually we will represent it by the letter u. Here I am taking the initial velocity of the body as v. So initial velocity u, it is represented by here v. Now this body is acted upon by a force F. So a body of mass m moving with a certain velocity v is acted upon by a force F. This is the retarding force here. So retarding force F acts on the body. Then when the retarding force acts on the body, then what happens to the body? The body gradually comes to rest. So now let us take that the final velocity, that is, which commonly we write it as v, is 0. Now here what is happening? When the body is retarding, the body will retard with a uniform retardation. That uniform retardation, I will represent it by A. Now, by the time the body changes its velocity from v to 0, means the velocity is decreasing here. The velocity changes from v to 0. The body would have covered some distance, and let me take the displacement as s. So once again I repeat, what we are doing here, we are trying to derive an expression for kinetic energy. For that, let us consider a body of mass m, and initially it is moving with a velocity v, and we apply a retarding force F on the body, and what happens to the velocity of the body? The body gradually comes to rest, so its final velocity becomes 0. Now, what is the uniform retardation? I have represented the uniform retardation by A, and what is the total displacement of the body? The total displacement is S. Now, what we need to do? We need to derive an expression for kinetic energy. Again, here energy is nothing but work done. To bring a body from some velocity to 0, some work has to be done. Now, let us take the work done expression. W is equal to F into S. This is the expression for work done. Now, by Newton's second law, we know that F is equal to ma. So, we have learned Newton's second law, Newton's laws in 9th standard. By Newton's second law, F is equal to ma, where m is the mass of the body and a is the acceleration. Here I am applying retarding force. So, retarding force will be equal to mass into retardation, that is negative acceleration. Now, so I can substitute F is equal to ma in this expression. But I need to find out what is the total displacement covered by the body. To find the total displacement, here if you observe in the data, we are not provided with time. So, to calculate how much is the displacement of the body, we need to go for equations of motion. And among the three equations of motion, which are the three equations of motion? As we know, V is equal to U plus AT. Second one is S is equal to ut plus half at square, and v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Now here we are not talking about time, so you cannot use the second or the first equation of motion. Now to calculate the displacement, you need to use the third equation of motion. Now let me take the third equation of motion. By equations of motion, third equation of motion I will write. By third equation of motion, v square is equal to u square plus 2as. As we know here, u is the initial velocity, v is the final velocity, a is the acceleration, and s is the displacement. Now, if you apply this equation of motion here, now what is the final velocity? The final velocity is 0. What is the initial velocity? Initial velocity is v, so it is v square. Because we are applying retarding force, the body is uniformly retarding. You have to take this with a negative sign. A will be minus a, that is retardation or negative acceleration. So it will be minus 2as. Now if you simplify, how much you will get? V square is equal to 2as. This implies S will be equal to V square by 2a. So now we have arrived at an expression for displacement of the body before it comes to rest. So as the body comes to rest, how much displacement the body has? That displacement is equal to V square by 2a. Now we shall substitute the value of F and S in this work done expression. So this implies W is equal to, what is F? F is equal to ma multiplied by, what is S? It is V square by 2a. Now just see here, what is getting cancelled? A gets cancelled. You are left with W is equal to half mv square. Now this is nothing but kinetic energy. This is the expression for kinetic energy.